Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Flash English News Edition here at 6 p.m. As usual, I'm Daniel Cook, your host here on OR News, where we are trying to keep you up to date with the latest happenings here in Albania and the surrounding Balkan region. In today's news, the Authority of Fair Business Competition has recommended that the methods for importing electricity into our country ought to be reviewed. This request comes after the recent scandal with the surrounding energy distributor and their improper bidding for the import of energy. After reviewing the report on the issue, the Authority of Fair Business Competition has issued the demand that the energy distributor must change its procedures. They have said that these recommendations are intended to promote fair competition and treat all participants in the energy sector equally. According to the Authority of Fair Business Competition, these changes will cause the process of importing energy to be more transparent. They state that the winner of energy bids must be determined based upon the rules of the Ministry of Finance. The killer Julian Sinanaj has spoken out about a murder that took place 13 years ago, providing police with new information. The professional assassin has given out new details about the assassination of Judge Konomi, who was killed in the center of Vlora on September 9th of 2011. The professional killer has given the names of his contractors and has implicated a well-known businessman in Durrës. During a recent questioning, Sinanaj stated that his orders came from Durrës and that the cause of the murder was a conflict over two valuable properties in a coastal area of the country. He added that those who ordered the killing arranged to travel to Italy just one day before he planted the bomb in the judge's vehicle. According to Sinanaj, these contractors wanted to have an alibi in case they were investigated by the police. The testimony of a killer has provided both names and motives to the police, who are expected to take action shortly. The prosecution has announced that they have started investigations into the disappearance of a large quantity of explosives. The explosives were removed from a warehouse in Kruja, and it is still unclear who has taken them or what they intend to do with them. The Ministry of Defense immediately reacted to this statement, saying that they filed this case with the prosecution some time ago. According to them, this serious and disturbing theft actually happened a long time ago and was discovered after a search warrant was issued by the head of the ministry. The Ministry of Defense have released this official statement on the issue. The report was submitted to the prosecution by the Ministry of Defense. It details a theft that happened a long time ago and was found out because of an order that was issued by the head of this institution. The suspected author of the quadruple murder that happened several days ago was sent today to take up residence in the prison of Fushë Kruja. Konstantin Gjuvani is the primary suspect in the murder of 4 people on Elbasan Street, which happened in a local bar. The Directory of Prisons has issued a statement that Gjuvani and his friend have been sent to this prison in Fushë Kruja because both of the correctional facilities in Tirana are full to bursting. According to the prison directory, neither of the correctional facilities in Tirana can hold any more prisoners, since their full capacity has already been exceeded. The prison of Fushë Kruja has taken strict measures to isolate Gjuvani and his friend, since they are at risk of vengeance from the families of the men that they allegedly killed. In Albania's political news, the majority has once again urged the opposition to return to the Parliamentary Assembly. The head of the Albanian Parliament, Ilir Meta, stated today that the highest representative of the opposition in the parliament will be given an equal amount of time to speak as the Prime Minister himself. According to Meta, this is another symbol of cooperation that the majority is extending to the opposition, but the final decision to return must be made by the Democratic Party. Ilir Meta made the following statement: "The latest change in the rules of the parliament give the opposition leader the right to speak for as much time as the Prime Minister. This is a way of showing our willingness to cooperate with the opposition. Perhaps you will not find this rule in any other democratic state, but it's better to have more democracy than we need rather than having more restrictions than necessary. We will vote on this new rule in the next session, and then the opposition can decide whether or not to use this right, stated the head of the Albanian parliament, Ilir Meta. The Democratic Party has issued yet another accusatory statement against the Socialist Party in power. The Democratic Party is accusing the majority of trying to take control over the audiovisual media institution. The head of the Democratic Party Media Commission made the statement that the opposition will utilize all of the legal means in their power in order to negate the decision of the government about the new head of this institution. He made this statement: Edi Rama has decided to break the promises that he made to the international institutions. He has ordered his MPs to vote for the former director of Digitalb as the new leader of this institution. This man has always been a client of Rama's monopolies. Now every Albanian citizen must watch and listen to only what Rama wants, stated the head of the Media Commission in the Democratic Party. Decades ago, working as a teacher in the villages of Albania was something that people had to do, but now this situation is changing. The Ministry of Education plans to offer higher salaries to teachers that are willing to work in the villages. This was confirmed by the Ministry of Education and Sports during an interview on the show New Day, weekends on Ora News. The Minister of Education also spoke about the high number of teachers whose professional background was not adequate. He said, "There are over 2,000 teachers with different professional credentials than they should have, and another 2,000 without the proper education at all. These are alarming figures, but we are determined to put an end to this situation," concluded the Minister of Education. Two days before the visit of Prime Minister Edi Rama to Belgrade, his agenda in country was kept somewhat of a mystery. Not much had been made public about where our Prime Minister would go and what he would do in Serbia until today. Today, Ora News sources have confirmed that during his visit, the Prime Minister will not meet with the Serbian President, Tomislav Nikolic, but he will visit the Valley of Preševa, despite the arguments of the Serbian government. During the first day of his visit, Edi Rama intends to meet with the Serbian Prime Minister, and later he will hold a press conference. During his second day in country, he will visit the Valley of Preševa. Meanwhile, the Serbian media are saying that the mayor of Preševa is trying to cause a scandal, saying that he will welcome Rama as their second prime minister. This has been the English Flash News at 6 p.m. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow at 6 for more Albanian news in English, right here on Ora News. I'm sorry, on Monday, not tomorrow. On Monday at 6. Thank you, and good night.